Hey peeps, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Timikomo Irby. I am the pivot strategist. And if you're not already aware of what I do, I work with my clients to help them pivot gracefully and bravely into different seasons of their life. And so whether that be a very serious pivot or a slight adjustment, pivots come in all shapes and sizes, and we need not fear them. We need not approach them with anxiety or trepidation. There is a lot of intentionality you can have to prepare for a pivot. And so I want to share one of my favorite tools for having a pivot that you navigate successfully. And I have been using my own tool. It's called the Pivot Strategy Planner. So the Pivot Planner or the Pivot Journal, whichever you prefer. And for the last couple of years, instead of buying a planner, I have been designing my own planner to help me stay focused, energized, excited about the plans that I have for my life. So today I want to nerd out with you for a second. If you've ever been curious about the app or the platform Notion, and you've been wondering how do you even use it, what is it useful for, allow me to introduce you to my personal Notion that I use for myself and I share with my clients. Those who are brave enough and quirky enough. I tend to be a bit of neurospicy leaning. So if you are someone who has a lot of thoughts in your brain and you've been trying to find a system to make all the things make sense, welcome. That's what we're going to talk about today. So I am actually going to share with you inside of my Notion setup. And whenever I put my planner together, I had both a physical copy of it, but also a digital version of it on Notion that you can use to stay organized for the day. And so it is set up for you. I will show you inside my own setup. If you give me one moment here, I'm going to share my screen with you and prepare yourself. It's actually very exciting. So on the screen, you're going to be able to see exactly how I stay organized for the day. And so for even the year, if you can see on the screen here, it says Pivot Dashboard. This is something that I refresh every single year so that whenever I start the year, I have new things for each year. And I actually archive everything that I go through. So I have records. Let me pause for a second. If you are somebody who keeps a lot of your knowledge up here, your brain is fried. It's tired by the end of the year. You need some assistance. They call Notion a lot of times a second brain kind of system. And it's something where you can take all of the knowledge here, put it somewhere that is safe, easy to access, and then you have more space in real time for the other things that you have to quickly synthesize and understand. So I love second brain systems. Notion is one such system, and it's one of my favorites. Okay, so back to the board here. I love things that are pretty, and I feel like when it's digital, it's easier to make it aesthetically pleasing. So at a glance, this is my Notion setup, and this is really the dashboard, the home page that I come to every single morning when I'm trying to plan my day. So as you can see, it's broken out into vision, plan, and track. Those are the things that I want to keep before me constantly. So speaking of things I want to keep in front of me constantly, I'm going to go to this vision column right here. This is my vision board. Every year I make a vision board, and with my vision board, I don't just keep it on a poster board that I have in the back of my closet somewhere. I actually put it on my lock screen of my phone. I just did a video about that. The lock screen of my phone, I will put it right there, and I will look at it constantly. I'm inspired by it. I love being able to see what it is I'm aspiring to become. It keeps me motivated, and it keeps me really excited for the things that are going on. And if you see up here, I have something called targets. That's where I put all my goal setting and things like that. Once again, because I am somebody who loves things to be aesthetically pleasing, I like to make the targets something that is going to quickly grab my attention and I can look at it. So let me click on that tab and share with you my personal goals for the year. So my goals for the year, I like to keep it simple for myself, right? So if you look at my goals, I have secure the bag, Something about identity and intimacy with the Lord. Hostess with the mostest. Let me scroll down a little bit so you can see that. And then I also want to have family life harmony. So inside of here, I'm doing mine a little bit differently, and I'll share this with you. As a person who really values the voice of the Lord in my life, whenever the Lord speaks to me about these areas of my life, I actually journal, and I take the journal insights and I put it right here with these goals. I like that in any given year, I'm mostly focusing on 4 main areas, because I think sometimes you can get overwhelmed thinking of too many areas at the same time. So I always like to look at these areas, and then I get inspired. I start thinking about what is it exactly that I want to pour my energy and pour my intention into. Whenever things come across my desk and all of a sudden people are trying to pull my attention into this and this and this, things that are good but are not attached to my goals, I can now say, I have to prioritize. It's not one of my big 4. So I might put it on a back burner. I might put it on a later basis type of thing. But these goals here are very helpful for me to be able to say, okay, this is what I'm aspiring to do. And these are the things that I'm paying attention to. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. In my dashboard, I have, once again, the plan section. And once I go to the plan section, that is where I'm going to find the places that I will probably be at the most. My planner and my get things done journal. Now, I love these 2 things and I use them quite frequently, because the planner, when I was a teacher, I used to struggle to find the structure of planner that worked the best for me. Did I need it hourly? Did I need it 30-minute increments? Did I need just a block where I could do free space? I actually need all of it. And so I will show you how I set up my planner. This is actually very similar to how it's set up in the physical planner, but I will switch to that so you can see it. All right. So this is my planner. I always put at the top, what are my themes? What's my personal mission statement? What's my business mission statement? All those things, right? And I'm going to focus here on the planner section. Whenever I have my planner, I plan on a weekly basis. If you look at my templates, I have planning weekly, adding a meal plan, if you want it undated, if you want a bullet journal style, if you want an agenda style. So I have all of those styles there. Let me go into one of them here. Make it a little bit bigger so you can see. Okay. This is one of the templates here for the daily agenda. You move out of your way. Okay. So for the daily agenda, I keep things simple. I always have 3 priorities for the day. What are the main 3 things that if at the end of the day you accomplish them, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I love it. Usually it's something like a project. Maybe it's something scheduled. Maybe it's something that you just need to get done. On this right-hand side, I like to keep a habit tracker. So it can be as simple as I want to take my vitamins every day. I want to exercise or move my body. In this particular template, I have an agenda. You might be someone who likes to be organized in 30-minute increments. You can do that here. So this one is more of an agenda. And so when I need to do time blocking, that's when I use a template like this. And not every day is an agenda type of day. Okay, so sometimes I might just be wanting something that is a little bit more flexible. And I'll go to another example for you in my planner. Mostly, this is my default because this is what I typically use. Mostly, I want something like this, where I have my week at a glance and I'm trying to figure out what is it exactly that I want to do? What are my main priorities? Once again, I have my big 3 goals. And then I have my tracker. On a weekly basis, it might look something like this: exercise, moving your body, praying, meditation. And then on any given day, you have your 3 projects that you're working on. Notice there are no time blocks there. It's just you listing out what you want to do and some notes. Okay. So I like to keep it simple because I think sometimes when you overcomplicate things, you get too jumbled in your brain. And I love this section here because this is an archive of all of your weeks. I am somebody who likes to be accountable to my weeks. I would like being able to say, oh, this is where I was. This is what I did. Notice that all of the dates had gratitude at the end. You can choose to do it that way to celebrate gratitude, or you can use something called joy spotting. And on your calendar, you can actually go and you can say, what were some cool things that happened on this day? And you can add it right here on the joy spotting calendar and have gratitude. You can have a gratitude spotting, joy spotting. This is just how I do my setup. Okay. And now I'm going to share with you something. If you're someone who is like kind of like a brainiac and you keep a lot of stuff up here and you do a lot of planning and you have notebooks and journals full of stuff, I love this Get Things Done journal. And I literally just throw everything in my mind at this journal. And this journal is so helpful because you are able to just put all your information there, but it's searchable. You can literally Google, oh, where was that thing? Someone gave me a hint that I started doing as well, that you know how sometimes your phone is loaded with so many screenshots. Now, instead of sending screenshots to my phone, I send it to my Notion board. I actually send it to my Get Things Done journal. And then I can look things up. Oh, I tagged that screenshot with this name. I can type it and I have a whole folder for my screenshots. And I keep things in my Get Things Done journal. So I have mine in a few different ways. I have y'all all in my business right now, which is wild. But sometimes I just want to do a brain dump. Sometimes I want to look at things as far as what is my quarterly priority. Okay. Sometimes I want to look at things like what are the different projects and what is the status of the projects? Are they done? Are they in progress? Okay. Or I might even want to look at things as far as just a notebook. Sometimes I just want to jot down my thoughts and I will go to a notebook setting and it's just a list of different things on my mind. Imagine if I was trying to put all of that in one place, right? It's very frustrating to just try to keep everything in your brain. Instead, you need a system for all of this amazing information that you are wanting to have. And then one last thing that is actually new for me in this coming year. I didn't have it before, and it's a bit of an extension to the Get Things Done journal. I'm always up Googling random things, and I am somebody who Nigerians call it an ITK, a know-it-all, someone who's always trying to gather information. And I stumbled upon something called a personal curriculum. And this coming year, I'm going to tweak mine a little bit, but I'll show you how I did it this current year. My personal curriculum, I just kept different things that I was reading, different things that I was coming across during the year. And so different books, I will say, the great thing about Notion is that sometimes people have templates that are plain and you can adapt them. But I liked being able to put this together, the name of the book, the rating of the book. So I read Raising Prophetic Kids, When God Speaks, The Psychology of Money. And so I have those resources here. You're able to gather quotes. You're able to work on different subjects. So for the coming year, I'm actually doing something where I'm building my own personal curriculum and I'm going to make it fun. And I'm taking classes on a semester basis. So I am taking strength training in the spring. I'm taking a baking elective. In the summer, I am taking songwriting and filmmaking. And then in the fall, I'm taking beauty classes. I know it's so random, but it's literally your personal curriculum. Anything that you want to do, you can do it. I forgot to mention, I'm also doing a course on probably in the fall on the Book of Acts. So the great thing about the personal curriculum is that you can nerd out as much as you want. And when you're organized with something like Notion, you can keep all your notes in one place. You can rate, oh, I read this book, or I found this screenshot or this article, and you can keep them all in one place. Last thing I'll show you. Whenever the year is over, I actually start to move things over, and I'm I'm now keeping them in archives. So I want to just show you a little bit of the back end organization as well. Let me move out of the way. So if I go back to my dashboard here, on my dashboard, I am currently in my 2025 year. And let me show you how easy it is to switch over to your next year. So I keep an archive here. And in my archive, I keep the different years that I've had and the different planners. So here is my planner from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Now, it is simply a page, so I'm not actually throwing things away, because for me, I might need to reference something from the year prior. So what I do is this folder is an empty folder. Let me move out of the way. I have an empty folder that is for this coming year. So I'm actually going to move it in now because we have like 11 days left. So I'm going to take this here. Notice these are, you can drag and drop them if you want. So I'm going to take my planner for this year. I'm pretty much done. So I'm going to drop it into the folder. Okay. And so there's no planner there now. And then also my Get Things Done journal. That is something I'm also done with. So I'm going to drag it to 2025. And now I have my 2026 folder. I'm going to just bring it out here so I can see all the things. And this is super granular, but it's something I had to do anyway, so I'll walk y'all through it. I'm going to open it up to see what's in it. I have already started front loading the things that I needed, including something I mentioned in one of my other videos, a bingo sheet. Bingo for next year, some of the fun things that I want to do. So this is one of the visuals that I'm going to have. Notice my personal curriculum is here. My Get Things Done 2026 is here. My planner is here. All of my trackers are already here. So all I have to do is send them to my 2020. All I have to do is send them basically to my dashboard in order to make myself ready for the next year. So I'm sharing all of this to say, if you're someone who's constantly buying new journals and all the things and new planners, I don't fault you. But for me, there wasn't a single physical thing that I could have that would do all of the things that Notion is doing. And I pray to God that Notion stays, because as you can see, I've been using it for 4 or 5 years now. And I've truly enjoyed the experience. I hope you enjoyed seeing my setup. I'm not going to be shy to share the resources with you. Now, I will say my Notion setup, the whole thing is not something that I can give to everybody, but I can share with you the templates for the words. I will share with you the templates for my planner, and I will share with you the templates for my bingo. And I'll make available to you the other templates, because it did take a lot of time to build, and I don't mind sharing it, but it does take a little bit of work to implement it. But yes, I'll make them available for you all if you want to see them, if you want to use them. Yeah, no more are we keeping all of that excellence in our brain. A lot of times, even, I'll say this before I leave, even in working with my husband is really smart and does things his own way, and he's not really a Notions type of person. But if I can share what is inside my brain with him, I can send him a link to be like, hey, I'm planning this thing. Here are all the things that you need to know about this. And so it makes our partnership stronger if I'm able to share what's going on up here. Okay. Like I said, if you're someone who is neurospicy inclined, you need a system so that you don't go into next year overwhelmed. Okay. Thank you for nerding out with me. Thank you for checking out my Notion setup. I will let you know where to find all these things. I will say probably the safest place to check my website, www.timmycomo.com/pivot. Let me put it up here so you can see somehow. 1 second. Boop, boop, boop. This has been so fun. I love coming online and talking with the peeps about the things that are just so fun to me. Also, when you go to my website, timmycomo.com/pivot, you're going to find my pivot journal and my pivot planner are available. And so there's a website. So you will be able to purchase all of those things or check out the freebies that I have available for you, and just look around. I think the pivot planner was a labor of love, and it was something that I needed, and I assume that maybe other people needed too. So I thought I'd share. Thank you all so much. Bye. Take care.